I am Katie Vining. We are at Springer Preschool Academy at the ACE Center at Highland Springs, my wonderful early childhood education class. We have been talking about developmental stages and stages of play. So real quick, let's review our developmental stages. What are they? Social emotional, language speech, cognitive, physical, which is gross and fine. What is gross? Big. Big. What is fine? Small. Okay. All right. So cognitive, how are they playing? Okay. Social, who are they playing with? Or who are they not playing with, right? Okay. Types of play. Your cognitive, we've got functional. What's functional?
Like using it for a function.
Right. Using it correctly, trying to figure out how it works. Constructive. Building. Dramatic. Pretend, not just dress up. Yes. All right, so those are our cognitive stages, and then our social stages. Solitary, what's that? By yourself. Onlooker. Parallel. Next to each other. Associative.
Next to each other, but like not playing the exact.
So you might be talking to each other like you're in house area. Ethan's grilling. Journey's making a salad. But, you know, like they're talking to each other, but they're not playing together, right? Okay. And then cooperative.
They're playing the same game except.
Yes, they got a game. They got rules, right? Unoccupied and exploratory. We talked about that a little bit. What is that?
Sort of just not doing anything.
Trying to figure things out, right? Just wandering around, trying to figure out what to do. And then rough and tumble. Our Ninja Turtles. Yes. Developmentally appropriate, though, right? Yes, it is developmentally appropriate. All right, so this is one of my favorite lessons. I think it is so fun. So if we were talking about play and stages of play, what do kids play with? Toys, right? And we know that play is so important in early childhood education, okay? But we have to make sure they are playing with the correct toys, right? What would happen if we didn't have the correct toys in there? What are some things that could happen?
If they were too like young toys, like if they weren't like the proper age, they could be developmentally late.
Right.
Because they don't have like.
So if you
brain
give
power.
a duckling a toy that really is like Teal Tiger or kindergarten,
They wouldn't know what to do with it.
are they going to be able to use it the right way? No. If you give a Teal Tiger a toy that is for a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old, what are they going to do with it?
You're gonna get bored.
They're going to be bored, right? So you have to give them developmentally appropriate toys. 1, so it can help them develop, and 2, they are using them the correct way. What happens maybe if you give somebody a small object, what could happen? Well, choke, yes. They could throw it. Like, the toys are not used the right way, okay? So we are going to talk about some of the factors we need to consider when we are choosing toys, okay? They help develop imagination, explore their senses, improve their coordination. We see all of these things when we're in lab, right? Can kids also get injured by toys? Yes. There are safety guidelines on toys. Do people always read them? Do people always follow them? No. Okay, so we're gonna go through a few things that will help us when we are picking out our toys. All right, so small parts. Why do we not want small parts? Choking. How many times do you see the kids put something in their mouth that they're not supposed to? A lot, right? So we don't want small parts. They will put them in their mouth. We don't want them to choke, okay? So watch for small parts. Durability, what does that mean? They're strong, right? I mean, our toys get beat up in there, don't they? Okay, so we need to make sure it is durable, that it will last. We don't want sharp edges, okay? Be able to survive impact. Do some of our toys go flying or go crashing down, right? Okay? What happens if a toy gets damaged?
You should not take
Do we leave it?
No.
No. We need to take it out, either fix it or get rid of it. How they are made, right? Long time ago, they used to use lead paint. We know now that lead paint is bad, right? Okay? So non-toxic substances. Why? Because they put them in their mouths, right? What about cords?
They can wrap it around your neck.
Right, we don't want anything to happen with those cords, right? I did have a child last year who had a teeny little cord on like a stuffed animal, wrapped it around his finger so tight, his finger turned purple, right? Like, they just find things to do with anything, okay? So we just have to be mindful of what they have. Not be giving toys with electric heating elements. Why?
They don't want to burn themselves.
I don't want to burn them, right? Okay, and then we just talked about keeping toys appropriate for older children. So if you have a 10-year-old who's really interested in chemistry, and he's got a chemistry kit, but he has a 2-year-old sibling, are you going to let the 2-year-old sibling have access to that kit? No, okay? So just making sure we keep those toys separate. And then age appropriate, we touched on this as well. Real quick, what is NAEYC?
We learned this a while ago.
National Association
Early.
for the Education of Young Children. There you go. That will be on your test on Friday. Okay, so there are guidelines there. Appropriate toys will suit abilities, skills, interest level, sensory, right? We want texture, shapes, sizes, all those things. And we talked about how if it is below somebody's developmental ability, they might get bored. If it is above, they're not going to use it the right way, okay? All right, so when you are looking at toys, there are several places that you guys can check to see what the guidelines are, things like that. But on most toys, does it say something on it? Like if you get a box, what does it usually say?
Ages.
For these ages, right? If you go, what you guys are going to do in a little bit, when you go to find toys, when you go to Amazon or Target, it'll be in the description, right? Okay, so who has heard of, have you guys ever heard of Love Every? You might have seen like commercials on TV or on Instagram. It'll pop up on mine, but probably because I'm a teacher. So Montessori is something we're going to start talking about a little later. Does anyone know what Montessori is? So the Montessori approach is letting the kids learn how to learn, okay? They do a lot of investigating, but it is very child-based, okay? So if these toys are Montessori inspired, what do you think that means?
They do it by themselves, or they learn by themselves by using it.
Kind of, yes. And they are, yes. They do kind of use it by themselves, but it is also very developmentally appropriate. So Love Every is actually a subscription-based toy company, and it will send you a set of toys based on your child's age. So you'll get a box for 3 months. You can get a box for 6 months, because what you use at 6 months is very different than what you use at 3 months. And I think it goes all the way up until 2 years old. I just want to show you guys this.
Of your child's brain is developed by age 3. How can we make the most of this important time as parents? Research shows that meaningful developmental experiences don't always happen on their own. We can help make them happen. That's why we created the Play Kits. So, what are the Play Kits? The Play Kits by Love Every are a holistic system to support your baby's brain development. They're created by experts, designed in-house, Montessori inspired, tailored to your child's exact stage, and the only toys you'll need, really. How do we know? Because we research, test, and fine-tune every toy to be your child's favorite. We dig deep into the latest child development findings and partner with respected child development experts. We design prototypes that bring them into families' homes to make sure they're the perfect challenge at the perfect time. We don't stop until we know your child will have so much fun with each play kit, they won't even realize they're learning, but you will, because they're thoughtfully and durably crafted without flashing lights or loud noises to engage your baby's senses without overloading you. How do the play kits work? Sign up and sit back. We'll keep conveniently delivering the right toys at the right time so you don't have to search online for answers, don't miss a developmental window with your child, can make the most of playtime together, and make meaningful memories. Every 2 to 3 months, you'll receive play essentials that are just
Okay, so what are you noticing about the toys?
Along with it,
They're all different depending on how old the baby is.
They're different. What else do you notice about them? They're wooden. Lots of bright colors.
They don't really make any sounds, like they're not like.
And they said that in there. How many of you have been driven crazy by a sound on a toy, right?
Yeah.
So they took that into consideration. sharp edges? Did we see sharp edges? Did you see different textures, different patterns? Okay, so that is all developmentally appropriate. Now, what I'm going to show you, what you guys are going to do, you guys are going to search for developmentally appropriate toys that we may add to our Teal Tigers room or our Yellow Ducklings room. Okay? And last year we did. We presented some of our favorite ones, and then when Miss Poor and I went to buy new toys for our Teal Tiger room, I was like, let me pull up the project that the kids did last year. And we picked out some of those toys, okay? So you guys will have a chance to maybe get some of these toys in our classrooms. But I'm gonna show you my example, okay? Who's seen this? Who has seen this? I am obsessed with the crab. Okay? Does anyone know what the crab does?
Yeah.
It moves.
It's walker.
Yes, it walks. If you look on the box, it says, what does it say?
Oh, I'm reading the other side.
You're reading the other side? So it says 3+. I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, so do you guys want to see what your crabs do? All right, turn on your crabs. Should be on the bottom. You got it? It's gonna go.
But y'all don't have to. I think it does it. Yeah, it's physically.
Yeah. It is. All right, so what are you noticing? It has a sensor, right? So if it runs into something, it stops and goes the other way. But will it go off the edge of the table if you don't stop it? Yes. All right, grab the crabs. Let's turn them off. Okay, we got one crab off. Okay, so that is the crab. Now I'm going to show you 3 videos of, this is one of my friend's daughters. I got her the crab when she turned 1. Then I will show you my nephew, one of my nephews who was 8 months old. I got him the crab. And then I'll show you my other nephew who's 4 months old. Also got him the crab. Are they going to use the crab the same way?
No.
No. Why? How would the crab be useful for kids that are 1, 8 months, 4 months? Movement. What are they trying to do at that age? They're trying to crawl. So if you have this thing running around in front of you, making noise and lights, you're going to want to try and get it, right? All right. So this is Emmy. She was 1. I got it for her first birthday. And she was not crawling or very new to crawling when this happened. And that's my friend Erin. So she's trying to get the crab, right? Right, and it stays in the general area, and then she gets it, right? Okay. Okay, so that's Emmy. Got to the crab. This is Luke. Okay? Luke, when I took this video, was 8 months old. What's Luke doing? He's like, I'm going to get the crab, right? He's not so much a crawler, but he loves to be standing up, so that is perfect for him. He's like, I'm going to go backwards, but I'm going to get the crab, right? Okay. This is Vincent. He was 4 months old. What is Vincent working on right now?
And the piano.
Yes, holding his head up, right? Tummy time is so important for infants, right? They got that neck strength is like what they need to get. So how would the crab help with tummy time? You're going to want to be looking where it's going, right? So this is Vincent doing his tummy time. And you'll see him. So my sister grabs it and puts it more in front of him. And then what does he do? He's following it, right? Okay, that's my sister. Okay? All right, so that is the crab with 3 different age groups, right? If I put the crab in teal tigers, what would they do?
Oh, no. They would just ignore it, probably.
I mean, they could run up to it, pick it up, and game over, right? Could they maybe make a game with it? Probably. They probably all could figure out very easily, like if I stand here and you stand here, we can box the crab in, right? Ducklings, what do we think ducklings would do with the crab?
They would also like pretty easily catch it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what you are going to do. You can work in pairs or you can work by yourself. But you are going to find, if you work in pairs, you're going to do 6 toys, okay? If you work by yourself, you're going to do 3 toys. You are going to find developmentally appropriate toys for either the teal tiger classroom or the yellow duckling classroom, okay? So you're going to do Google Slides. This is my example with the crab. So first thing you need is the name of the toy, right? And you also want to have a picture of the toy. The cost, you guys know on Amazon, one day it'll be $15.99, the next day it'll be $9.99, right? That's not, we don't need to get nitpicky about that, okay? So the price, where you found it, then you're going to do the age, right? So the crawling crab, even though it says 3+ on the box, we know that probably 6 to 18 months, depending on crawling status. Does everybody start crawling at the same time? No, that would be your age range, okay? Your pros, what do you get from the toy? What are developmentally appropriate things that you get from the toy? So our crawling crab, great motivator for children who are ready to start crawling. Bright lights, colors, music, which keep them interested and engaged, right? If it didn't have music and lights, do you think it would be as engaging? No, it might be for a minute and then it's kind of like on to the next thing, right? It has an obstacle sensor, which you guys figured out, so that it does not run into anything and can run away from the child, because we want the child to go after it, right? Then I want you to think of any cons. So what would some cons be? Or negative points?
My fingers almost got caught in them.
I mean, yeah, the legs can be a little bit much, right? There could be, if you broke pieces off of it, it's pretty durable, honestly. It's fallen off plenty of things with my nephews around. But it could break, right? And then there would be a small piece. So we want to be careful with that. Okay, and then you need to tell me, how would you use the toy? Not you, but how would a child use a toy? Would they use it by themselves? Would they use it in a group setting? And then the stages of play that they would be using. So dramatic, functional, constructive. Could they do it solitary, or would it be cooperative? Okay, so all of those stages of play that we have been talking about. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so you guys can get out your computers. You can start researching the toys. All right, how many of you have younger siblings or cousins? Okay.
I was supposed to look for, you gotta do 6 toys. I was supposed to look for toys.
I don't know.
Can you put
I don't know. Like,
Picking out your.
I mean, I don't know.
All right, so what are you looking at?
I'm on.
Okay.
I don't understand that.
We'll click it. See what the description says.
What would we title?
Oh, they can like touch it and like
Developmentally
squish
appropriate
it.
toys.
That would, I feel like that would be for like more ducklings and tigers. They would break that.
And where can we put this in teal tigers?
The
Where
calm
do
down
they?
area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The calm down. Yeah.
So I think this is a good one.
Yeah.
We could do this one.
And you put that in your description. Put it in the calm down area.
Okay. I'm just looking at it. How do I say it?
Just take a like a screenshot.
A snippet?
Yeah.
$11.
That's a good find. What else we got? Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this little snapshot of our classroom. What did you find, Deanna?